Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are watching Wednesday. This is episode 5 of the first season. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying it so far, and if you'd like to watch today's full episode, it is available for free in the link in the description below. Just click on it, put the password in, and enjoy. So last episode started interestingly with Wednesday and Thing breaking into the morgue. Now they went to look at the body of the homeless man that was killed last episode, who managed to actually take some pictures of the monster, and in there they managed to find out that his left foot was, decapitated, and also 2 of his toes was taken as well. Now, Wednesday, acquiring this information, she started to gather more and more on the previous victims. She realised that whoever it is that's killing people is actually taking parts of them as kind of like trophies. Reminds me of Dexter when he takes a bit of a blood slide from all his victims. And obviously, she's trying to put 2 and 2 together. She's followed Xavier because obviously she's seen that he had a scratch on his neck in class and he was a little bit sketchy. He said he hurt his back trying to work out or something. And she followed him. She's seen the little shed that he's been hiding in. He left it unlocked this episode. She went inside. It was pictures of the monster all over the place. She took a few of them. She also took like a bloodied rag that was in, like in the bin. And Eugene helped her decipher the location of one of the drawings. They went to this cave. As he went inside, there was shackles all over the walls. There was dead bones all over the place. And she also found a claw that she believes belonged to the monster. So she's gone to the police with this. She said, look, somebody in my school, I believe, is a suspect. I've seen them with these drawings. We've been to this location. We found a claw and there's a bloodied rag. We need you to run a DNA test against each other and see what, obviously, the results show. So that's interesting. And it was also the rave and dance ball at the school. So Thing actually, on his own wrote a letter, went to the coffee shop and dropped it in Tyler's little jar. He obviously invited him to the dance from Wednesday, and he turned up. He was ready to go. She wasn't. She was going back to the cave with Eugene, but she ended up, closing the door, running into the bedroom and putting on a dress that Thing had stolen for her, which looked really good, actually. She come downstairs. She was going to the dance. She met Eugene. She was like, look, change of plans. We're not going to the cave tonight. We'll go tomorrow. Please don't go tonight. It's dangerous. And he was like, yeah, sure, sound. They went into the dance. He was like, I need to do it. Do you know what I mean? I can do it myself. I can acquire information. So Eugene's gone. Now into the dance. She's having a pretty good time. She's actually doing some dancing on her own. Do you know what I mean? She's throwing some shapes, and then, those pilgrim dudes who she beat up twice already this season, Wednesday, come and actually savaged the dance. They hooked a hose pipe full of paint through the sprinkler system, boom, threw it on everybody. Everybody's panicking. They're all running left, right, and centre. Somebody bumps into Wednesday. She has a vision. She looks down. Eugene's in trouble. She runs into the woods to chase after him, but it is too late. The monster has actually killed him, and the episode ended, obviously, with her lay over Eugene's dead body. So I'm gutted that he's died, to be honest. Really, really gutted. I did like him. I thought he had a good connection with Eugene, and I really liked how he was consistently hopeful of getting with Enid, even though she's got her own little boyfriend going as well. Still excited, man. I liked his character, and I'm a little bit sad that he's obviously died. So that's where we're currently at. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you do, please smash the like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, let's jump into today's episode.
How well do we really know our parent? Take my father, a man given to misguided schemes and exaggerated displays of affection. It really happened that stormy night, 32 years ago.
I don't like to tell tales, Sheriff Walker, but it's all Morticia Frump's fault. Seeing you in handcuffs, accused of murder, I've never loved you more.
The thing is, though, from that perspective, it did look like he stabbed him and knocked him off, didn't it? Oh, the teeth look really good then, actually.
As a safe haven for our children. Most of you have heard about the unfortunate incident involving one of our students, but I'm happy to report that Eugene is on the mend and is expected to make a full recovery.
The monster hasn't attacked anyone in the past week. Maybe you finally scared it off. Or maybe it went into hiding to avoid this weekend.
Oh, how we missed those accusing eyes and we from sleep.
I thought Thing was filling you in on my every move.
So how's the little fella doing? Does he still have all his fingers?
I haven't snapped any of his digits. Yet.
Are you feeling well?
You're looking a touch anemic. You've been eating enough red meat.
It's good to see you too, Mom. And you, Dad.
Guessing your dad's no-show again this year.
Yeah. You?
Gabrielle hasn't shown her face since I started here.
My darling daughter.
I guess you misjudged her.
Do you remember when we did that duet for the Solstice Talent Show? Your Judy Garland impression was a dead ringer. May I borrow this for the weekend? That way Gomez and I can take a little walk down memory lane.
Unfortunately, Wednesday's assimilation has been rocky.
Because I refuse to embrace the culture of dishonesty and denial permeating the school.
Mr. Kimbert and I have spoken, and we both agree it would be most beneficial for you all to attend a family session this weekend.
I've always been a big fan of head shrinking.
Not that kind of head shrinking, mon chéri.
Still want to know what she's trying to get out of it, because she's got some sort of connection with that therapist. Like, they have got a coup or something. They're working together. Don't know why, but both of them, every time they're in a scene, they just look sketchy and dishonest. That's what I think. Do you know what I mean? Like, did you see her face drop when Wednesday was like, look, mate, why am I a problem? The fact that I'm just calling out factual things and people are trying to, like, cover up stuff. That's not my problem. That's a you problem. You're the one that's actually doing the covering up in. So, do you know what I mean? Like, she's right.
You got one kid in the ICU, a bunch of people in the morgue. I don't want any more. Son of a bitch. It's hard to stomach a murderer wandering around town scot-free.
You got the results already? Tape off the scene, I'll be right there.
Dad, you okay? What's going on?
You know Reggie, the local coroner? He just blew his brains out.
Maybe we can discuss what it's like having Wednesday away from home.
It's been torture for us too.
Fortunately, my brother Fester's rag fits 2 people.
I think it's high time my parents faced the music. It seems they've been lying to me. Murderous secrets that need to be addressed.
Your father is an innocent man.
Local sheriff doesn't seem too convinced.
And I refuse to debate a decades-old witch hunt with you right now.
Wednesday?
If you refuse to tell me the truth, I'll just have to excavate it myself.
How could you ambush your father like that?
Well, did you really think I wouldn't find out your secret?
Your father did nothing wrong.
I'll be the judge of that.
We are a personal development movement that helps people take control of their lives. It's time to come home.
That place was never my home.
Gideon said you'd resist.
You actually married him.
He wants you to come home. My siren song is drying up. Recruitment numbers are way down and the wrong people are starting to ask questions. This wasn't a request.
And if I refuse?
And everybody here's gonna know how you sirened your way into Nevermore.
You know what, right? I proper hate parents that, like, I don't know, man. Like, she don't clearly care about a kid at all. She only wants to use her for her own personal benefit. Do you know what I mean? She don't care about her feelings, what she wants to do, her own life. Only cares about me, myself, and I. And it actually upsets me. Like, this, I know this is obviously a siren, but there's many things. I watched the new Matilda film the other day, and, like, it's like a musical. And you know what I mean? It just reminds me, like, the parents are just nasty to people for literally no entire reason. Do you know what I mean? She's always getting bullied and shouted at because of who she wants to be. And it's just like, here, this woman, she's only come because her problem is that she's losing her powers. And now she's trying to make it Bianca's problem so that she fixes them. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I hope that she doesn't actually leave. She's got till the end of the weekend. Oh, she does something so she actually stays at the school and shows that she has got friends. Maybe I would just expose the fact that I use my siren song to get into the school myself, because getting into the school is one thing. Actually being a student and showing that you actually should be there and you're good enough to be there, that's a whole different one, and maybe they would accept you for who you are now.
I harvested hive number 3. The bees miss you, Eugene. You didn't deserve this.
You must be Wednesday. Eugene's moms, Sue and Janet. He's gonna be okay, right?
I should go.
I hope so.
The gun was legal and registered in his name, Colt 45. Janitor said he kept it in his desk.
Planning a cruise with his wife? He seemed all excited about retirement.
I guess you never really know what's going on through someone's mind. Suicide note says he felt guilty about an old case. Says he covered it up.
Garrett Gates, you gotta be kidding me.
You heard of it?
I'm waiting 30 years to put away his murderer.
Thing is, though, right? I know that note's there, but is that proof, though? Is it? I'm not sure it is, to be honest. Like, he could have wrote it about anybody, couldn't he? He could have literally just said it was me. You know what I mean? Or it was that guy over there. Like, I understand that you got a lot of evidence and you're just waiting for that key bit of info to send the dad down, but I don't know, man. Somebody killing themselves and then leaving a note, and it's perfectly what you wanted to hear to take down the person that you've been going. Again, I think it's too, like, suspicious, but it's going to be interesting to see. Reckon that's the guy that was killed by Gomez? Yeah.
We need to tell her.
We must stay strong. hope that something more morbid comes along to distract her.
Oh man, when you get fixated on something, you're always going to keep digging. Well, now she will have to tell her, because if he's coming in and taking him.
Gomez Adams, you're under arrest for the murder of Garrett Gates. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law.
Reckon she's going to tell her? She has to, man, surely.
Garrett was infatuated with your mother. His infatuation turned into obsession. It all came to a head the night of the Raven dance. Your mother and I stepped out to catch our breath. Adams! Twisted love for your mother had made him insane.
Go! Get out of here!
Driven by jealousy and hate, Garrett was unstoppable. When I saw the sword, my survival instinct kicked in.
Is that not self-defense? It looks like self-defense to me.
His confession sounds entirely plausible, delivered with the perfect degree of sincerity. But then there's the matter of his tell, the way he smooths his mustache, the way he delivers a comforting wink. You are the reason I understand how imperative it is that I never lose sight of myself. So as far as fatherhood goes, I would say you've been more than adequate.
Gracias, Wednesday.
That was nice, actually. I want to hear Marissa's story. You know what I mean? I want to hear the story from the mum now, because obviously they're hiding something, and he was just open and honest, and it matched the exact first scene that we seen. Do you know what I mean? The first time that guy was killed, and he went off the side, and obviously he was stood on a scaffold with the sword. That is what just perfectly happened right here. It was that guy definitely did attack them. You know, he was just making out with his girlfriend. He's come up obsessed, took the sword, gone after him, tried to stab him himself, and got stabbed, and he fell off and died. Like, yeah, okay, Gomez did stab him, but like, to me, I would class that whole segment as defending yourself. So again, it's going to be interesting to see, because like she said, you can never really truly trust what they say. The way that they'll say, oh, it's self-defense, and then give a wink. Do you know what I mean? Or like move his beard and stuff. She said she's been playing Russian roulette with him all her life. Maybe he is just that open and honest with her. But again, I need to hear it from the mum side and see if the stories match.
Bernice.
It's pretty colourful today.
May or may not have received a call that her tabby cat Swifty is being held for ransom. My father did not kill Garrett Gates.
We'll have his signed confession, and he identified the saber he used to do it.
Don't you find the timing a tad bit convenient?
All I see is a guilty man who's finally going to pay for his crime.
I found the monster's cave, and I gave you the DNA of it. Did you even bother to test it?
This may come as a shock, but the world doesn't revolve around you, Adams.
Whoever hurt Eugene also murdered the coroner.
Garrett Gates' family deserves closure, even if none of them are around to take comfort in it. His mother hung herself in the backyard, his father drank himself to an early grave, and even his little sister didn't escape.
Sounds like they've all been killed to me. This guy's got an agenda. It's too coincidental, like Wednesday said.
I just want you to know that all I want is the very best for you.
What are these?
Brochures?
These aren't just ordinary summer camps. So camps for lycanthropy conversion?
Don't you want a wolf out and finally be normal, honey?
Father packed her favorite bait.
I always thought I'd be the first one in the family behind bars.
Let's see if the fish are biting.
I think these two look kind of like each other. I think they casted well.
It's quite a catch.
Yeah, it's always a cover-up in it, mate. Like, I feel like the dad's protecting the mum. She's the one that actually done the final stab.
Hello, Wednesday. You were a nightshade. That didn't take long.
Rejected them because they're a trivial social club.
It used to be so much more. Our mission was to protect outcasts from harm and bigotry. I know why you've come here, Wednesday.
Father didn't kill Garrett Gates, did he?
No.
Garrett, stop!
I'll never forget the way he looked at me. Father was so calm.
Go to your room and lock the door. He would never hear.
Your father took the blame in order to protect me.
You said Garrett was foaming at the mouth.
I've never seen someone so blinded by rage.
Foaming saliva, dilated pupils, mental confusion. What are those all textbook symptoms of?
How can that be?
I don't know. So, that's interesting there. What I want to know is, right, if I hold a sword now, so if I pick a sword up and I'm holding it and you run at me and you run into the sword, is it my fault that you've been stabbed or what? Like, I would genuinely like to know that answer, because looking at that scene there, that guy went up and he attacked Wednesday's dad, didn't it? he was the one that instigated the attack. Now, she's picked up Marissa, she's picked up the sword, and he ran into it. Like, now, I'm not saying, I don't know, he deserved to die, but, like, if the dad killed him, I would have said it was self-defense. By her stabbing him, is it self-defense or, like, she didn't actually do a stab motion? You know what I mean? If I'm holding a knife and you run into it, whose fault is actually that? Like, that is honestly a question that I have no idea the answer to. I would love to know.
Moment of truth. Hello, Garrett.
Guess it's gonna be an Addams family reunion in lockup tonight.
Not even the long arm of the law could keep us apart.
At least we'll have one last night.
Yes.
Neither one of you are strong enough to serve hard time. Thanks to me, you won't have to.
I knew our little jailbird would have an escape plan.
He died from nightshade poisoning.
Garrett was dying.
Before you stabbed him.
Prove to me you're still worthy to be called my son! Kill all those outcasts!
Did you have a vision?
The night Garrett died, he had a vial of nightshade poison that broke in his pocket. He was going to use the nightshade poison to murder the entire school.
Garrett Gates wasn't killed by a stab wound.
But you already knew that. Because back when you were sheriff, you were in charge of the case and covered it up. Why did you instruct Dr. Anwar to falsify the autopsy report? You knew the truth about how he really died.
I remember Garrett bragging to me that his father had the sheriff in his pocket. Men like you have no idea what it feels like not to be believed. All charges dropped.
My father will be released immediately with a full and unequivocal apology from the sheriff's office.
Yeah, that's true, because he can kind of go down as well, can't he, for covering up a murder himself.
A few months ago. Before I left for Nevermore.
I'm sorry I didn't feel you could tell me.
Sometimes when I touch someone or something, I get these very violent glimpses from the past or future.
Your visions are more potent, more powerful. But without the proper training, they can lead to madness. Somebody from our bloodline reaches out from beyond.
Good he has.
Be careful, Wednesday. But her vengeance pushed her too far, and even she couldn't save herself.
So, your daughter and my son have become close.
Pity any boy who gets caught in her viper's gaze.
Not using that picture.
Decided 6 weeks at Camp Howell.
If I'm meant to wolf out, then I'm going to do it on my own timeline and not yours.
That was good.
You do you.
Yeah, that's it, lad.
Wait until the school year is over, because you both have too much to lose. But after this, you and Morning Song are out of my life.
At least we can't say Parents' Weekend wasn't a nail biter.
If you need me for anything, I'm only a crystal ball away.
There's got to be something in that yearbook she's getting out of it.
When Rowan appeared the next morning, it was you.
I'm curious to find out how Sheriff Galpin feels when I tell him.
You won't tell us so.
Telekinetic abilities were driving him mad, and he attempted to murder you twice. Death allowed us to rectify the situation, casting the school or Rowan in an unflattering light.
Tell that to Eugene. How are you protecting him?
That was pretty good, that, actually. I mean, she has good intentions, a teacher, from what she's just saying there, but not the right way, though, is it? Oh, that camera angle's low. Sick, mate, wasn't it? That was really good, that bit there, going on to the eyes. Fire will rain. Now, you know, all season, they've kind of been suspicious of, obviously, the principal. You know, I thought that she was in on it. She's maybe the monster herself, or she's covering up for somebody. But listening to what she was just saying there, and the reason why she shapeshifted into Rowan, and you know, she was trying to keep the school being shed in like a decent light, and you know, she didn't want to kind of ruin his reputation as well. The fact that he did try and kill Wednesday 2 times, like, she thought it was best to make it look like he was just leaving. It's not too bad, that. It's just that she's sketchy as well. This is the thing. So I don't really fully hardcore like believe her all of the times, but like in that certain thing there, I kind of get where she's coming from. But like I like how Wednesday was counteracting. You know, you think you're helping Rowan, doing what's best for the school, but I'm helping Eugene. You know, the guy's there, he's in a coma now, he's in the woods. You know what I mean? You didn't help anybody because the monster's still out there and it's still attacking. So just because you tried to cover up what Rowan was doing to me, yeah, you kind of left the monster to be free and attack more and more people and kill, and now obviously hurt someone in our school. So like, you may have had a good intention, but bad execution. It needs to be transparent and open. And like, yeah, okay, you could have told the sheriff and a couple of people what actually happened, that there is a monster actually going around, and maybe tell the story to the school that Rowan was just leaving, do you know what I mean, and he was going away. That way, you've the truth's out, and you know that there's a threat, and you know that don't go in the woods, but like you're also trying to like kinder and keep his reputation as sound as you could possibly make it. So I mean, I understand where she's coming from, but bad execution. Do you know what I mean? Good intentions, bad execution. I also liked having both parents here today, to be honest. I think the more they're involved, I think it's entertaining. I do like the parents. It's really good. And that story, like I said, about him killing him killing that guy and knocking him off, and he was there with a sword. My question was, obviously, if it was him who actually did do it, would it be classed as self-defense? Because he was obviously just making out with his girlfriend when this guy attacked him. Then obviously he was fighting, he picked up the sword and he stabbed him to stop him from being murdered. Do you know what I mean? So like, I feel like that would class as self-defense, but then obviously the mum picking it up, Marissa, and her stabbing him, then that's different. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what would actually that be classed as? Because she never picked it up and done a stabbing motion. All she done is picked it up and held it in her hand, and he come running at her, because obviously we've seen that he had that thing in his pocket that smashed, and it kind of like took possession kind of him. Boom. And then she killed him. But she didn't mean to, and she didn't actually do like an action to attack as well. So I do think it was interesting. It was. And I'm assuming that the female that was on the ground that seen the body land was that teacher. That's what I'm assuming. And maybe that's why this whole time she's actually disliked her for all these years. And obviously the dad, because you never know. She may have had a connection with him. She may have fancied him. Do you know what I mean? Like, and she believes him, because she did say, you know, to be honest, she did say in the last episode that she asked somebody to the dance, Raven dancing it, and they end up rejecting her to choose a different girl. And I was like, that's why it's a bit savage, those type of dances when you're in school, because you can get rejected quite often. And that seems to be the stem of why she kind of dislikes the Addams. But was it the dad that she fancied, or was it the one that died? You know, that'd be interesting. But I thought this was a pretty good episode. I enjoy it, and it's good that he's set off free now. When there's too many coincidental things happening. Too many. Do you know what I mean? I'm glad that, well, the sheriff, he was too blinded with solving that murder, wasn't there? And then he just had to let him free with what the mayor said. You know, he was the one that set him go. So now, hopefully, he keeps digging. If he got the wrong person, I hope he keeps searching. Because on episode 5, and you know, we've got 6, 7, 8, got to catch a real killer. Too many coincidental things are happening. Okay, and that's going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it. Still trying to figure out, you know, what bigger role the therapist has got to play into this. I feel like she is friends with, obviously, the principal, the shapeshifter, but I'm not too sure, like, if they're just filler people, do you know what I mean, to just enhance the story of the cast, or if, like, they have some sort of action to kind of play in this, like, mystery that we're trying to solve. Do you know what I mean? I'm kind of thinking... I'm thinking that the teacher, you know, the Norma who managed to go down into, you know, into that library, that she's involved in this. I feel like it may be her family, the one that actually tried to end everybody the first time. You know, the dad that was obsessed, who told his son to put that thing in the punch to take everybody out. I feel like she could be that wild card. Do you know what I mean? When you throw somebody in there and like she's destroying it from within. Now again, I'm not like with no evidence to actually say that, but I feel like that would be a good idea. From the fact is, when obviously the sheriff is explaining about their family and their situation, and that, you know, Wednesday's dad, he's not just involved in the murder of the son, yeah, it's the whole family. You know, it had a ripple effect. He was saying that the daughter got sent away and then she drowned, and the mum hung herself and something, and the brother killed himself, and whatever's, the dad drank himself to death. All of that crazy stuff, yeah, sounds to me that somebody's doing something to take them out, but also somebody's definitely took out the doctor. There's no way I believe that he shot himself. I understand that the camera was covered, but Thing covered it. Thing did cover it, so I'm not saying that, you know, the murderer knew that, but, and I can't really moan that obviously that camera was covered, but like I said, when we seen him talking to the sheriff last episode, he was saying, like, you know, he's only got a couple of weeks left of working, he can't wait to go on vacation, he's got to retire, do you know what I'm saying? And then, like, here now he's killed himself, and he feels that, you know, he has to write this thing, and it's been haunting him for all of this time, and how's it perfectly fell in the time that obviously, like, the Addams have come to the school so they can come and arrest him. Do you know what I mean? Like, too many suspicious things are actually happening right there. Now, again, I'm interested to find out who it is now, who the person that's actually done it, and who the monster is that's going around the school. We do know it's a human. I kind of thought it was Tyler, then I thought it was Xavier, and then when we was at the party, they both wasn't, like, they was both there, so like I don't think that they was able to like disappear and go and attack, you know, go and attack Eugene. So I still, to this moment now, I have no idea. I literally like. Just constantly guessing. I like the fact as well that obviously Enid, you know, she's not fully fledged into being this wolf, and her family are obviously judging her for it. Well, her mum is anyway, trying to send her to like summer camp to try and enhance it and accelerate like the process. And she's like, mate, I'm just want to be accepted for being me, and you know, I'll learn it my way. And I like how her dad stood up and kind of like give her a hug and was like, you do you. That's what you want, mate. That is what you want. Like I said, I enjoyed seeing the parents in it. I do like seeing it. I feel like they all rub off really well. They're quite funny and quirky and dark at the same time. And I do feel like in their own weird sadistic way, even though they don't show hardcore emotions to each other and like affection and kissing and hugs, like you can tell that they really do care for each other and like they love each other in their own personal way. And I feel like the more that we could utilize them in the crystal balls and trying to solve this murder, you know, and like keep going into it, the better it would be. So I can't wait to obviously see how the rest of the season goes. Thanks for checking out today's episode. If you do enjoy it, please smash the like, really helps out. Subscribe if you do. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.